Hello, I haven't made a video for quite a while because I got stuck on what to sew, but then I had some brainwaves of things I might need. Anyway, first make. I made a cushion cover and I did my 3-step in one to put a zip in. This one I mimicked the orange that I've got at the front, and then I also did it all in one fabric so it's harder to see. Usually I do a contrasting fabric. There you go. This was Jewel Box Table Runner from Donna Jordan. Donna Jordan does a quilt in this. Then she's got the pattern for this as well. And then in one of these squares, I'm not quite sure where I am, one of these squares is 16 inches, and then I made it up. It's roughly about 19.5 inches all the way around, 20-inch one. You can make it any size you want, 16 and above. So yeah, so that's still using leftovers, and I got all my deepest, brightest colours together from out my box. So that's using scraps. So that's make 1. And make 2 is an armchair caddy I've made for the son-in-law. So Helen, if you're watching this, don't tell your husband. I'm going up there in a couple of weeks' time, so I'll take him a couple of presses. This is for all his remote controls, and it fits on his armchair like that. And then he can just slip into the pockets either side. All his, you can put pens, you can put, I've got one for a small book. Then all his remote controls can go in the others. Jean Truelove from Truelove Quilts for You. I used their pattern. That's the second one I've made from her. No problems whatsoever. And she makes hers into a sewing caddy. So if you're sitting at your armchair watching the telly with the hubby at night, you've got all your sewing things in there that you might need to do any quilting, binding, embroidery or cross stitch. You can keep all your bits inside, and she tells you how to do a few more of the things as well. So that's my second make, an armchair caddy, different size pockets. There you go. I made a cushion to match, and I used my own for both of my cushion covers. I used both the 3-step sewing to put a zip in that I've got a video on, and I used the same fabrics as I used in the armchair caddy. So he's got his own cushion and his own armchair caddy. There you go, that's for the son-in-law. So Helen, again, don't tell him, he's got a prezi coming. So that's make 3. Make 4, remember Tim's quilt? Well, I've still got quite a bit of his fabric left in bits and bobs, so I made him a pillowcase. This is one of them beret, I can't remember what you call it. It's where you fold it like a tube and then just pull it through after you've finished. And then I did French seam this one, but that was using some of his fabrics, but I can only make one because I've got no more of this fabric left. So that's for Tim. Pillowcase, loads of patterns for that on YouTube. Put pillowcase beret method, and then that will come up. So that's make 4. As you can see, I've started early for Christmas. So let's just take you down. Santa's come early at my house. I've got my tree up for all my presents, look. I'll just take you a bit further forward. So this is all appliqued. I used heat and bond on all the fabric, and then I quilted it myself because it's a small item. It's not too big. So I just did meander, a very large meander, all the way around the quilt. And then and there's my present. Presents are easy. Any Christmas fabric you got, any colour, because let's face it, when you get everything from everybody, they're never all one colour. Cut whatever shape, oblong, square, whatever shape, size, in half. Sew one of these on. I've done mine, this is, I think is 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. Some I've done 1 inch, some I did 1/2 inch, or depends what size it was. Sew one side on, then the other, and then cut it in half again and do the middle. So that's easy, and then that was appliqued on. I appliqued the whole of this all the way down, then cut out my shape, and then ironed it onto the cream fabric. That's the tree. And all these, I made the presents first, the gifts first, then I put it on the heat bond, because then that you use less that way, and the whole thing gets appliqued, and then the whole thing gets heat and bonded. And then you just keep standing back. The tree trunk is another Christmas fabric, and then it's all sewn on with a, I'm not sure which stitch actually I used. It weren't a blanket stitch. I haven't got a decent blanket stitch, so I just used the one that was appropriate, that did the job. Still got to make my star for the top, and I've still got I have got some bows that I got from eBay, Amazon, which was $4.99 for about 50, I think. So I'm going to try them first, but I want to do my star first. I haven't got no room for a Christmas tree, so this is why I come up with this. It can come out every year and hang on my wall, and then I've got my own. And then the other thing I should do is get some lights that I can hang, like little battery operated lights, and then I can have lights on the Christmas tree as well. Put some ribbons on, give it a bit more 3D, and applique my star, then it'll be finished. So I've got the next few weeks. Good idea to do any Christmas things you've got to do now, because then if you've got to send them away to your quilter, you're not fighting with everybody else to get the quilting time. Because obviously quilters are very busy at Christmas time, so if you've got any Christmas quilts to make for anybody, now's your time to get them done out the way. Send them off to the quilter before everybody else does. So that's one tip I've got for you. I'm still using up all leftovers or things I've got in my stash. That's the back. Let's turn you over so I can see. That's it. That's the back of the Christmas tree quilt. It's just it's a winter scene. So there you go. So that's make 5, I believe. So going on to the big quilt. This is just a top. I haven't finished this. This is called Wind Drifter, and this is a pattern by Robin Pickens. This isn't free, I'm afraid. That's the colourway that they did. If you go on to Donna Jordan Fabrics on YouTube, you'll see her colourway. This is my colourway where I chose. It's either fat 8s or fat quarters. You can still use up whatever you've got in your stash. I used all the colours that actually went together: yellow, green and purple. That's a very, very deep purple at the back of this, and it's got green, pink and peach, which all goes together colourways. Or you can do what they did and just use a couple of colours, different shades. And I can't remember what Donna used, but if you put in your browser Wind Drifter, you come up with a load of pictures, all different colourways, to give you some ideas. Donna Jordan, well, the pattern calls for it to stop here, all the way round. Just here, and I'll just show you, just move up, show you what I did. So the pattern actually just goes to there. And then I used the same fabrics that I had, because obviously I'm trying to use up all the fabric I've got in my stash. And I put borders, and that's 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oh, it's 10. 10 on each side, each with whatever I used here. I think these are 11 inches wide here. And then obviously I won't bother where it would cut off, because each corner is the same. so it looks as if it's meant to be, but you've got all colours all the way around the outside, what you've got in your quilt. So that's how I made it bigger. You can do other things, obviously. And I think that's make 6. So I've got another couple of makes in cross stitch we'll have a look at now. Charity shop bargains. That's absolutely brilliant for what I want on my big robin cross stitch. To put it in there and hold it, embroider, anything like that. And one of those and 4 of these Idas, 3 in white and 1 in cream, because this is not cheap. It's a £6 summit, or if not more in some areas, and I think there's a metre in each actually. £4 for the lot. £4 for the lot. So the bargains are there to be had. This is one I bought from a charity shop, and I did it basically for practicing. These are plastic. They're £1.99 from eBay. You get all different ones. That one's Busy Bee, a bee with a little honey pot. So that's going to my daughter, so she can hang it up on the wall or hang it on the fridge, wherever. Home is where the heart is. So there you go, and I should give her this little magnetic needle minder to go with it. So that's one I finished, and that was one of my first practice pieces. I've mounted these myself. One's a D and one's a H, and these are basically, at the same time I was doing this, I was doing these too, so they were very good practice pieces. I got my inspiration to mount them myself from YouTube Bothy threads, B-O-T-H-Y. I'm sure most cross stitchers have heard of them. And if you just scroll through their few videos, they show you exactly and with great explanation how to mount one yourself. I got these white photo frames, but they're sort of like, I don't know what you call them, where they stand back away from the frame, because you don't want your cross stitch on the leaning against the front. I forgot what you call them. I got them, instead of being £6 something each, I got them from Hobbycraft at £4 something each in the sale. So it's very good. And Helen, yet again, don't tell David he's got one coming if you see this video. I've got a brilliant tip for cross stitchers who have problems like me from reading patterns. As you can see, this is raised just here. So I don't know if you can catch that. I don't know what you call these. It's a clipboard with a ruler that fits over the raised section, and then if you clip it on, it stops it from moving. Then I laid my pattern underneath, and then I moved my pattern up one line each time. That helped me tremendously with not reading the same place all the time, and having to keep count where I were, and so that helped me a lot and made my cross stitching a lot faster. I don't know what they're called, but it's an A4 board, plastic board with a ruler. So I don't, and it's also got measurements on it in inches. Yeah, it's in inches. And it's in inches or yep, it's inches and centimetres down the side there, and it's a raised little platform there that you fit the ruler fits over the top. That helped me loads. So that's a good tip if you can find one of them if you're having problems with the pattern, reading them and being in the same place. That was a good tip. So that's it. That's all I've got time for. That's, I think, about 6 things I've made and some finished cross stitch. Hints and tips, I hope, on the way. By the way, I haven't said before, this is beginner friendly. If you've never made a quilt before and you don't want a traditional quilt with a lot of blocks in or anything, this is brilliant for beginners. It's so easy. You've got tutorials on it, and also it's easy to follow the pattern. And because you're using everything that's big, you're not fiddling with little tiny things. I think these were about 8.5 inches, and then obviously you make, so everything's big to hold and to use, so it's easier for beginners to work with. I think I've told you everything, so if you've got any ideas that you want me to make anything for you, to tell you whether it's easy, hard, beginner friendly or not, you don't want to try something yourself, you can't source something or find something, I'm pretty good at that. So let me know. Thank you for joining me. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and then you'll be notified each time I put a video on. Thank you.